is Sydney Edelson, and my partner Abby and I have the pleasure of proving to you that the status quo in Upper Dublin needs to change. We, the Affirmative team, believe that Upper Dublin School District should mandate school uniforms in grades K through 12 in 2013. Wearing school uniforms means Upper Dublin School District is engaging in a district-wide dress code enforcement, where every female student wears the same apparel with limited jewelry, and male students the same. By definition, uniforms are the distinctive clothing worn by members of the same organization or body, or by children attending certain schools. This clothing includes collared shirts, khaki shorts, skirts and pants, and closed-toed shoes. The attire of Upper Dublin students is a problem. We will not only propose a plan to fix the problem, but we will convince you that this is an academic environment, not a fashion show. While school uniforms are typically found in private schools, the first public school to demand uniforms was Cherry Hill Elementary School in Baltimore in 1987, according to educationbug.org. Uniforms are necessary because they force appropriate attire in an academic environment, reduce peer pressure by promoting a positive self-image, and diminish barriers between social and economic classes. You walk into these doors to learn, to receive an education, and develop social skills, not to strut your stuff or necessarily express yourself. This is an academic environment where there is a dress code that is so hard to enforce due to enormous amounts of inappropriate clothing and apparel that students wear. According to Mr. Topper, the way girls dress is just often excessive and a distraction to the learning environment. He claims that he really thinks the classroom would be a different place if everyone was dressed the same, because economic differences would not be present and because people would have less to judge each other on. Mr. Gessing says, "What am I going to do, write every girl up because so many are dressed inappropriately?" A school uniform policy can help reduce the rate of bullying by allowing students to worry less about what they're wearing and more about academic success. I quote, "Looking among the student body and seeing that everyone appears the same also provides a sense of unity and belonging," according to ehow.com. "Wearing school uniforms will lend to a renewed focus on academic success," says publicschoolreview.com. "School administrators face a complicated task having to enforce the dress code, from midriff and boxer showing to inappropriate slogans and vulgar language being displayed on clothing. Along with fixing the dress code problem, having school uniforms is easier for all students while they prepare for their school day." Maddie Lukowity, who wore a school uniform at St. Joan of Arc School, says, "I did like having school uniforms, especially in high school, where kids spend way too much time getting ready in the morning. It certainly cut the time I need to get ready in half." All of us are coming to school to learn, not to get dressed up, and should be spending time concerned about our education and our peers, not our outfits. Secondly, school uniforms reduce peer pressure by promoting a positive self-image. New York Times states that President Clinton sent out manuals to the 16,000 school districts in the United States of America with school uniforms in them. A true advocate for uniforms, Clinton claims, "If it means schoolrooms will be more orderly and our young people will learn to evaluate themselves by what they are on the inside instead of what they're wearing on the outside, then our public schools should be able to require their students to wear school uniforms." In the early years of elementary school, it is fundamental that kids wear uniforms so that they learn at a young age that all people are equal, and that self-expression comes from within, from your personality, not from your clothing. Clarence Addison, an 11th grade student, shared, "Do it with your mind, your mouth, your smile. Be happy. You can't show them all the things that you wanted to show through clothes. Just show them in your personality." Bullies often look for an outsider, but in this case everyone is equal, and wearing these uniforms reduces the pressure to be like everybody else. The differentiating factor in this case is who you are, so every child is unique. Each kid is dressing so similarly that there is less pressure to have outfits that match like her or show my muscles like him. And at such a young age, there is no reason that any child's self-esteem should be affected. Not only do they reduce peer pressure, but they also add a sense of unity and belonging. Lastly, school uniforms diminish barriers between social classes. Publicschoolreview.com explains, "In fact, socioeconomic differences present among students are equalized with school uniforms, minimizing the pressure to fit in with the right clothes. You see, wearing school uniforms puts every kid on the same playing field, where you will not see a kid with Nike sneakers and Adidas sweatpants with a Reebok jacket and a G-Shock watch and determine that that kid is definitely rich. School uniforms get rid of targeting kids based on their economic status barrier within cliques and in the classroom. With the differences in financial statuses of kids comes theft. If there are no name brand clothes and shoes and jewelry to steal, then theft will not be as much of a problem. At Long Beach Public School in California, the muggings reported went down by 51% after school uniforms were mandated, according to publicschoolreview.com. Wearing school uniforms costs $400 to $500 the first year, and then as years go on, it decreases tremendously, meaning that you already have the basics, according to Joanna Schaller, a friend of Abby's. Also, uniforms are more practical than regular clothing. I quote, "The nice thing about uniforms is that they never go out of style. You do not have to go buy new uniforms every year," Luckwoody says. President Clinton stated, "If it means teenagers will stop killing each other over designer jackets, then our public schools should be able to require school uniforms." To conclude, Abby and I feel that since Upper Dublin is a strong academic environment, we should be focusing on education and how to be great people. Wearing school uniforms in grades K through 12 in 2013 will force appropriate attire in an academic environment, reduce peer pressure by promoting a positive self-image, and diminish barriers between socioeconomic classes. It is so important that we change the way our school is currently operating, and that we teach the future Upper Dublin graduates to judge a book by its content and depth, not by its cover. Thank you for listening. Vote affirmative.